Welcome to another episode coming at you from ChooseYourRelationships.com, author of Boss Life Secrets, which can be found on Amazon.com. So now we got to talk about Cardi B and her husband, Offset. So share this video, and subscribe if it's your first time being here. So yeah, if you've been following me for a while, I don't really follow or like to talk about a lot of entertainers and celebrities because they are who they are in most cases. They're just entertainers, and at best, they're just distractions. What an entertainer does with his or her time, it's not really relevant to the average man and woman in society. Even though a lot of people like being entertained by them, they like seeing them, they like being around celebrities if they ever get a chance to, but they playing a different game than what me or you do with our own personal lives. So that's why what a celebrity does is not relevant to the average man and woman out here. Really. I always say you're the star of your own movie. That's why I always say. But let's talk about it. Now, when I first heard about this, about Cardi B filing for a divorce, I wasn't surprised at all because I called this out about 2-3 years ago. I said this marriage would not last. I called this out. If you've been following me for a while, I've said this a few times. I knew this would not last. Now, it lasted much longer than I thought it would. But I knew this wasn't going to last for 10, 20 years. No way. And you don't want to know why? Because, look, unfortunately, some people are unfit for marriage. And Cardi B happens to be one of them. I've heard a lot of stuff she said over the years. I've seen how she moves as a celebrity, just her whole mindset and and a lot of stuff she's talked about, how she grew up, how she was raised, when she used to be a stripper, some of the things, scandalous things she's done as when she used to strip, scandalous too, man. Now, most of the time, people that's been through those hard upbringings, those hard times, those experiences that she's had, most of the time, people don't really change. They don't really deal with the experiences and the trauma that they've been through or witnessed growing up in their past. What most people do is they just find a way to live with it. They find a way to cope with it. Coping mechanisms. That's what most people do. And that's what has happened to Cardi B. Unfortunately. Now, what type of guy would get married to a woman like this? That's the question you have. That's the question that you have that was asked to me. Now, I don't know Offset from a can of paint. And I don't have to know him. being that he chose to marry a female like Cardi B, it says a lot about him. Now, women like her, well, first off, she still has that stripper mentality, regardless if she's not on the pole anymore or not. She still have that stripper mentality. And see, I know a lot. I've known a lot of strippers. I still do know a lot of strippers. And one thing about a lot of strippers, once they've dealt with men in those clubs, for the most part, they never see men the same ever again. Once they get on that pole, and see those, then that's when I learned that you have to deal with these types of women in a very different type of way. You can't deal with the stripper or the woman with the stripper mentality the same way you would deal with the average woman walking around today. Because for the most part, these women are damaged. They're broken. So Offset, you know, he basically got married to a woman that, you know, there's a part of her, a part of who she is within him. Because, you know, the old saying goes, birds of a feather flock together. So, obviously, he sees a part of him in her. You know, now they might have some things in common. Yeah. You know, hopefully it's more than just sex. But, you know, you get who you are. You don't get what you want. When it comes to attraction. You know, most people usually, they say they want this, they say they want that. But for the most part, it doesn't really work like that. You get who you are. So, you know, they have some things in common. They both rappers, they both entertainers. They both draw a crowd. You know, so I guess, you know, I don't know how they meant, you know, but I know that just being an entertainer, I think it's very hard on a marriage. Just being in the music business, I would say. Because there's so many, I can only imagine there's so many moving parts between the two of them. What they do on a weekly basis. And plus, when you throw kids in the equation, that makes things even more complicated, I would think. And plus, when you got when you're dealing with a person like Cardi B with the stripper mentality, you just can't. It's hard to build and really coexist with those types of women based on my experience. You know, it's kind of like their idea of, most of the strippers I've met, their idea of being with a man is to basically to manipulate him to get what they want out of him as long as they can and as much as they can. That's their whole idea of what a relationship should consist of. You know, most strippers I've met are like that. You know. So, I don't know why they got married. That's the thing. See, most people get married for the wrong reasons. And most people like Cardi B usually look for suckers. And I think Offset just happens to be one of those types of dudes. And see, now, if this divorce goes through, he's going to be paying child support. He's going to be paying part of her livelihood, her lifestyle. Because you know that her music is not going to be around 15, 20, 30 years from now. You know that this type of music that she makes, it's a hustle. And she ain't no lyricist. And I've heard people start saying, oh, she's so beautiful. Nah, she ain't beautiful, man. She's a good looking girl, but she ain't beautiful. She's just a regular girl. Regular looking girl to me. I never saw her as like she was a glamour girl. I never looked at her like that. But you know her longevity as a rapper, you know that's not gonna last long. So Offset is gonna be paying child support, and that child support money is gonna be taking care of her and the kids. And a lot of these women look for suckers, look for people that they can use to become an asset to their lifestyle, their way of living. And unfortunately, he fell for it. Hook, line, and sinker. And there's a lot of women out here that prey on guys just like this. But he just happened to be a rapper. That's all. You know, you can't deal with these types of women the way you would deal with the average woman out here. These women are broken. I mean, most strippers get high and abuse alcohol. And she even talks about her experiences. She let everything out the closet. And he still got married to her. And if you notice, ain't no other celebrities tried to wife her up. Sure, they might try to hit. But ain't no other celebrities trying to wife her up. He was the only fool that wanted to get married to her. And why he wanted to get married to her, who knows? But hey, you know what they say? A sucker's born every minute. And they also say a fool and his money will soon depart. But this is something that you can learn from these two. You know, it's something you can learn, man. You just gotta watch the company you keep. And if you're gonna get married, why would you get married? What makes her so special? And what's going to be the foundation of the marriage if you chose to get married? Those are just some things you should think about before you get married. Don't get married because you got her pregnant. You had a baby. Oh, I want to do it the right way. And then it still doesn't work. I want I didn't grow up without a father, so I don't want my kid to go through that. So I want to be in the same household with my baby. And it still doesn't work. And you still won't be under the same roof. The point I'm trying to make is just make sure whoever you get involved with is the right person for you. That way, your life won't be so complicated like a lot of people. So hey, like, share the video. Let me know what you think about this divorce below. And P.S. by the way, my Cash App is $Sharp Game ATL. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.
I'm just keep